Hello, wonderful people. You're welcome to this beautiful episode on Divinity TV. It's all about you and your family. It's a wonderful program that changes, transform your perspective about life entirely and about how you relate with people. In today's episode, we're going to be having a wonderful time on a topic that will change your perspective, transform your life, and teach you a lot that you need to know about you and your family and your relationship with people too. In this program today, we want you to hang on, to be with us, and stay and be part of this program, and you will never regret to be part of it. I am Evangelist Mrs. Faith Okafor, your anchor for this program. We'll be right back in a very short time. Oh, you're welcome back to this beautiful episode of today's program on you and your family. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and this topic is blind spot in your relationship. The blind spot we're talking about here is the area beyond your personal view. These are the areas in your life that you don't see clearly. These are the area in your life that we call blind spots, the areas in your life that for you, you see it as if you're seeing clearly, but other people are noticing the errors in your life. It could be that negative aspect of you that is hurting people, that affect your relationship negatively, but to you, you don't see anything in it. That is what we call blind spot. A lot of relationship today is having challenges due to blind spot. Why is it that before, when you started your relationship, you love your partner so much, you cherish your partner so much, in short, you can't do without your partner? Then what is happening today? That is all about critics. It's all about argument. It's all about trouble, from one trouble to another. As you settle one, you are entering another. That is because there is presence of a stranger in that relationship. And that stranger is what we call blind spot. This blind spot can affect your sexual relationship. If it's a marriage relationship, it can affect the way you talk to the person. It can affect your level of respect. At a point, it can make it to feel you don't need your partner anymore. You can be living with your partner, but it will make no more sense to you. This is what we're going to be talking about today. When we say relationship, we are not talking about only marriage relationship. We are talking about relationship in general. It could be a relationship between you and your friend. It could be between you and your sibling. It could be between you and your parents or neighbors around you. Or even your maybe neighbors could be members in the same church with you, in the same department with you, people on the streets that are very close to you. This is what we are talking about today. What are those blind spots that affect your relationship not to be the same from what it used to be before? I said it is those things you overlook, those things you think is nothing, those things that are negatively affecting your growth, affecting your relationship negatively. And today, we're going to be mentioning some of those blind spots in your relationship, how you can identify it, how we can overcome it. This blind spot in relationship, most time we feel stuck in relationship. We feel that we cannot continue anymore, but we don't want to leave this relationship. Yes, you feel I love him so much, I love her so much, but this person's partner keep complaining every time. I don't feel loved by you. I don't feel you love me at all. But deep in your heart, you know you love this personality. This is because there is a blind spot in the relationship which you fail to see, but your partner is saying it. But at the end of this program today, you're going to be identifying those blind spots in your life, that affect you when you relate with people out there. They keep complaining about you. You feel, I am not a bad person, but people see me as a bad person. You check yourself and say, but I don't wish evil for people. But people see you as an evil person. This is because there are lots of blind spots hanging around your life that you fail to see, but people are seeing it clearly. But after today's program, you will begin to see those blind spots and begin to retrieve and make corrections in those blind spots in your life. And you begin to enjoy the happiness you have lost for a very long time, the peace you've been looking for. What can blind spot do in the life of a person? Blind spots can make you to have challenges in your marriage. Number one, blind spots can affect your self-esteem. Blind spots can make you have problems with people around you. Blind spots can make people to conclude negatively concerning you, even when you don't mean to be negative. How do you now identify this blind spot? Number one, you have to understand what blind spot is. You have to understand how hurting blind spots could be to someone around you, to your partner, to your siblings, to people around you that relate with you. You need to understand the level at which blind spot can hurt someone else. When you understand this, how do you understand it? You need to explore those awkward misunderstanding, miscommunication that keep going on around you. That most time it happens, you need to explore them. When you explore, you'll be able to understand the presence of blind spots, that area you are not seeing. When you explore, you'll be able to begin to see them. And when you see them, you can think of how to make an amends to them. Number two, you need to listen to God. For you to be able to work together with someone, you need to agree with that person. And if you don't agree with your maker, you cannot work together with someone. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree, in the book of Amos chapter 3 verse 3. Two can never work together until they begin to agree together. Blind spot can never be removed in relationship until two of you or group of you begin to agree with each other. You need God in every relationship for you to work out well. If you be able to identify blind spots in your life and in your relationship, you need to hear from God. You need to listen to God. God speaks to us every moment, but most time we don't listen to him. And that is why we keep on falling into problems and coming out of those problems day by day. Listen to the Holy Spirit ministering to you. Sometimes you say, hey, but I'm not born again. I may not know when Holy Spirit is saying something to me. But you have instinct. Listen to yourself. Most time God speaks to us through our instinct. Calm down and listen to yourself. You will be able to identify this blind spot that is affecting your relationship. I read a book about the power of a woman. Then this power of a woman, I discovered that most time, it opened my eyes to understand that most time when we are having problems with our spouse, it's not actually that our spouse is having problem with us, but because we personally, we are the one who fail to see our problems, and we'll keep on praying, Father, change my spouse, Father, change my spouse, change my husband. We wife will say, Father, touch him, change him, let him change. You're saying, Father, touch my brother, he's always wicked, he doesn't think anything good, change him. Change this my friend, he's not always seeing anything good in me, change. Sometimes when we pray for people, they don't need those prayer points. We are the one in the center of this prayer point to be prayed for. When we begin to see ourselves in the picture and begin to pray for ourselves, begin to listen to ourselves, begin to listen to the voice of God, we'll be able to understand that some of the problems we are having is not actually from those people, but from ourselves. Another thing again, we need to talk about how to identify this blind spot in our relationship is you need to be objective if you really want to find out the blind spot. you need to be intentional. You need to be conscious about it. You need to find out what is actually this issue, what is actually causing the problem between me and this person. Yes, we have had a wonderful time before now. Why is it that we're no longer having the same wonderful time we had before? What is lacking? What has gone wrong? Where did it go wrong? How did it happen? When did it all started? And when you begin to explore and be objective in your finding, trying to find solution, not to condemn. You're not looking for a point that will make you condemn your partner, but you're trying to find out where is the problem so that I can bring a solution to it. Then you can identify those blind spots that has been affecting your relationship. And again, if you really want to identify this blind spot, number 4, you don't need to be judgmental. Avoid and fight against every judgmental attitude towards the partner or the friend or your sibling or the person involved. You don't need to be judgmental in your approach. You don't need to be judgmental to judge the person. Even if the person is wrong and his wrong attitude is affecting your relationship, you don't need to open your mind to be judging the person. Also see the view that it could be this that has caused this. When you're not judgmental, you could be able to see through that person's view. You can also see from that person's perspective that is making the person to conclude or act the way he's acting. The number 5 way of bringing out the blind spots in your life or your relationship with people is you being able to realize that the problem could be from you and not from the other person. When you realize that this problem, it may be from you and must not be from your partner, you will be able to identify them and you'll be able to handle them from the beginning and from the roots and get the trash out of your relationship with people. When you realize this, you can be able to find out that it could be the way I respond, it could be the way I talk, it could be the way I answer that made this person to react. Then the 6th point being the last point of how to identify this blind spot in relationship. When you're having a relationship with people, apart from realizing that you can be the person, is also for you to be able to be open to ask your partner what could be the area that you are hurting, or the area or the attitude you're portraying that could be hurting to him or her, which he or she has never opened up to you. Ask friends close to you, is there anything wrong with my life? Is there anything I'm doing that is not good? Is there any aspect of my life that I need to amend to have a good relationship with people? Be open and open your mind to be corrected. And when you do that, people can tell you the area you're thinking you are doing well, that you're not doing well. My mother could always say every time, she said, when somebody has the spirit of pride in him, he doesn't believe, or she doesn't believe that he or she has it. It's people around that notice that this person is having problem. When somebody becomes mad, he or she doesn't believe that he or she is mad. But people around the person, they find that something is going wrong with this person. And they begin to look at the character that is already getting defected. But the person doesn't see it as if anything is happening with his or her behavior. So people identify your blind spot easily, more than you can identify your blind spot. Then I want to talk about self-defense, that defense mechanism, which we normally use, which is a blind spot in their life. I'm going to be measuring on this self-defense mechanism, which people use to defend their ego, defend their self, to avoid problems while they are the problem. Number 1 defense mechanism people apply that is a blind spot that has caused a lot of problem in marriages, in relationship with siblings, in relationship with friends. Number 1 is denial. When there is the presence of blind spot, it makes you not to see clearly. You can be seeing, but you're not seeing clearly. Blind spot can be seen in everyone's vision. It makes you not to see that aspect of yours. When you are viewing a thing, there are areas that you cannot sight well, except for the area you are focusing on. The area by the side, maybe behind your shoulder, you will not be able to see that area. And these are the areas we're talking about here. Some persons, their relationship has failed, their courtship, their courtship has failed, their step to marriage has failed because of this blind spot. How? It could be the area that they need to see clearly and they refuse to see it. This area could be from them, it could be from their spouse. I met a lady who married a guy, and every time she kept complaining of the man's behavior, the way the man behaves, the way the man is busy, he's a womanizer, he sleeps everything under the skirt. That's the way the lady described the husband to be. And the thing is eating her up, it's affecting her. And she came to me and was trying to talk to me to see how I can help her out to handle this case and pray about it. Then I asked her one question. I asked her, when you were in courtship, did you not notice this aspect of your husband's behavior? She said, anyway, do you know, a few days before our wedding, I caught my husband red-handedly, almost sleeping with a lady. He was already on his boxers. The lady was stuck naked on the bed, and he was about to, they were romancing, he was about to penetrate, and I opened the door. Lo and behold, I saw two of them on the action, and I asked her, what did you do? She said, I just walked out, closed the door behind me, and went and sat in the kitchen. Then when I sat in the kitchen, the lady dressed up and left the house. And I asked her, what was your husband behavior because of the action you caught him in? He said, she said, and when I caught my husband, when he came to the kitchen, he said, hey, see, I thank God, hey, it's God that brought you, thank God, I didn't do it, so at least I didn't do it, thank God that I didn't do it, you caught me when I have not done it, I thank God you came. There was no, I'm sorry. There was no remorse. The man was busy thanking God that he didn't do it. You can imagine if there was 5 minutes out of the time the lady arrived, there would have been deep penetration and there wouldn't be anything like thank God. But the man never felt bad. And I asked her, how did you feel when you saw that action? She said, anyway, I felt, and since he didn't do it now, there's no problem. And since he has said he wants to marry me, he has changed. I just have to overlook it. And I was like, apart from that one, did anything like that happen again? He said, I keep catching him with ladies, but I just felt it was nothing. I just felt he would change. And I told her, that was the blind spot you had. You never saw reason. You never saw problem as problem when you were in a relationship, and now in your relationship, you are seeing it as a problem. She said, yes, exactly what my husband said. He said, but you condoned it in a relationship. Why are you not seeing it as a problem now that we are married? And that is why she keep crying, that the man is not ready to change. Yes, some things we condone in relationship, there are blind spots to our relationship. We condone them, and tomorrow it begins to affect our relationship. We'll begin to deny it. We use denial self-mechanism or self-defense to deny this blind spot as if it never exists. Anything you deny will look as if it doesn't exist, even though you see it as a wrong thing. But because you deny the effect of it, you deny that it doesn't happen, or you deny that the outcome or the repercussion of that action, you may not see any wrong in that action. And when you deny an action, you don't see anything in it. And when you don't see anything, you'll not be able to see it as a problem. But as you keep denying, one day something will happen and you will not be able to bear it anymore. When you have a friend that is always nagging, and this friend is always nagging, you say, okay, let me learn how to overcome this nagging. Let me learn how to overlook this nagging in the relationship, and now it enters marriage. Now it's up to you. You can't control it anymore. You can't handle it. You can't take it anymore. Now you want to burst. It's because you deny the fact that there was a blind spot. And this blind spot, when you keep denying, some people also use this denial to deny their own personal blind spot. They have a problem, but they fail to accept is a problem. Even when their attention is being called towards that blind spot, they don't listen to it. They don't want to change. They don't want to see it as a problem. They don't want to see it as something that could hurt someone. They see it as a normal life. It's my life for me. As far as I'm not hurt, as far as it's nothing to me, it's nothing. And they don't care about changing it. They keep denying it as nothing, and it keep affecting their relationship. Can I give an example? When a woman opens up or pours her heart to a woman, or maybe try to tell her these are the problems I'm having about what you're doing. These are the things you're doing I don't like. Or maybe they are talking about something and the woman tried to pour her mind to say her own view, the way she look at that case, and expecting the man to communicate back or to say his own mind, and the man say, okay, I've heard you, and leaves the house. Or maybe when a woman is angry and is pouring her mind and telling the man, this you are doing, I don't like it, this and this, and the man gives the woman a silent answer. When you ask the man, he say, see, I don't have problem. Is this woman that is always nagging, looking for trouble? See me, I'm a peaceful man. See the way I don't want, that's why I don't want to talk. That's why I left. But you may not know, not responding to your spouse is already a blind spot. And these things are the things we need to fish out in our relationship so that we can handle them. When you refuse to respond to somebody, you already made the person a fool. And you're already leaving the person in a heart-wreck situation by leaving the person without responding to the person, no matter the jargons the person is talking. So these things sometimes will deny some facts. Maybe the way you respond to people when they talk to you, the way you act to people when they talk to you, and when they call your attention to you, say it's nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything wrong in what I said. People cannot keep finding you. You cannot relate to this person, and they keep complaining about this aspect of you. You relate to another person, you keep complaining about this aspect of you, and you believe you don't have a problem. If one person, two people, three or four complain about one particular attitude of yours that is affecting them, look, calm down, slow down, hang on and check. Why is this affecting people? It means it's a problem that I need to solve, I need to handle. Even when it's already part of you, there's always a way to transform, to adapt to those behavior that your system is not comfortable with, to be able to make things work out right. Another way, another blind spot in relationship that people fail to understand is what we call sublimation. It has killed a lot of marriages. It has killed a lot of relationships. This sublimation is you being able to sublime, to push down the feelings or the bad feelings you have from something, looking for a way, something to push it into. Can I give an example? Maybe someone hurted you in the house. Instead of trying to sit down and trash this issue out, you are looking for something to do to distract yourself so that you will not feel hurt. You look for something to make yourself comfortable, even when there is issue lying on the ground that needs to be settled, that needs to be handled. This is what we call blind. Yes, sometimes you use this defense mechanism to help yourself out, but whenever you are using it to protect yourself, not to handle an issue on ground you are not helping yourself, is already a blind spot. Then when your spouse hurts you and you're looking for a way, something to push it into, maybe to destroy yourself, you may go to on a channel to watch, a movie to watch, just to distract yourself from the pains. You may decide to go for a run. Some people, when they're angry, they go for a walk, they go for a jog, just to forget about their pain. Some go to drink. Some will enter into house chores. They want to do, they will do more than they will work and overwork, then they become a workaholic just to get their mind off the pain. But the pain has not been handled. And if you keep subliming this problem or this pain into something else, into another container, one day the container will not be able to carry, and you so best is a when you to pass you time with you dedication music to you for things there but when it keep happening all over the time just to get yourself out of the problem, and you're not settling this problem, it is a problem already for you, which is called a blind spot. Trace that blind spot, handle it so that your issues can be handled and you live in peace. The happiness you're looking for in sports can be found in your home if you avoid a blind spot of denying or subliming, and you get your answer. Another way that people another blind spot that people don't know that is affecting them is what we call intellectualism. Sometimes they intellectualize by doing what? When there is a problem, they harbor it in their mind, they suppress it in their mind. Let me give you an example. When somebody loses somebody very close or dear to him or her, and the person keep the feeling as if maybe you want him to talk about it. He's not talking about it, he's just being happy. You're wondering, this person lost somebody very close to him or her. Maybe a woman that lost the husband. You believe that when you get to that place, the woman be rolling on the ground because of the relationship she had with the husband. Maybe she'll be crying and be shouting. But to your greatest amazement, you get to that point and you saw the woman directing her affair, telling people, sorry, don't bother yourself. Hey, things are... You are disappointed because the kind of relationship this man had with a wife, she's supposed to be in this moment. That is because the wife decided to sublime, to hide the feeling, to suppress the feeling. Yes, there are sometimes you need to suppress feelings, but don't make it a habitual process. Don't make it a habit, that something that is constant. Anytime you are in pain, you don't open up. You don't allow yourself to feel the pain. When you keep pushing this thing down, one day you'll be pouring it out on people. You hear people saying they are transferring aggression. When people intellectualize, they end up transferring aggression on things they are not supposed to transfer aggression. And they will never know that it's because of something they suppressed, the pain they could not allow to express, that they are transferring this aggression. They can shout on somebody that they didn't mean to shout on. They can quarrel someone they didn't mean to quarrel. They can talk to their boss the way they're not supposed to talk to their boss, because there is something inside them that is not correct. And unconsciously, they will act abnormal because they were trying to suppress what they're supposed to express. So try to express things. Try to handle your problems from the roots and stop stocking it in your mind. It can cause you problems in your relationship. You can imagine you shouting on your spouse causes you pain and you never say it out, and now your spouse is doing something, the pain has not been handled, but you thought you have handled it, and you shout on your spouse, and your spouse become angry. I didn't do anything to this person. Why this shout and pick offense? Problem will set in. That is why we need to identify this blind spot in relationship. Then another one I want to talk about is an issue of rationalizing. When there is problem, when there is an issue, don't look for, or maybe trying to project it. Don't project the problem to someone. Always learn how to accept, take charge of problems. Our problem is that when we have problem with people, we keep seeing the other as the cause of our problems. We don't see ourselves as the cause of the problem. When we begin to see ourselves that we can be the cause of the problem, see our own area, yes, see it in the perspective that, yes, maybe I must have done something that has warranted this person to act this way. It can help us to settle our problems. It can help us to handle our problems. This blind spot has been an issue, but I believe as your mind has, as you have listened to this, to know the blind spot and the way you have been trying to defend yourself, bringing in blind spot in your life and in your relationship, which has never helped you in time past. By the time you identify this and try to work on them personally, it will help you to relate well with your siblings. It will help you to relate well with your friends. It will help you to relate with people around you. It will help you to relate with your spouse that you're living with, even with your children. Learn to listen to them. Learn to listen to your problem. The other day, I was asking my children if there's anything I'm doing that they don't like. That is how to bring out the blind spots in your life. There are things you may be doing, thinking you are doing it correctly, but you are not doing it correctly. I asked them, they told me, hey, mommy, my problem with you is that when I come to report an issue to you of what my sibling do to me or what my brother or sister do to me, you will say, don't worry, sorry, don't worry, don't mind him. That used to pain them. All of them, I was surprised that all of them were complaining of the same. Well, sometimes when I'm tired of listening to complain, and instead of calling the other person to come and start asking questions, I'll say, don't worry, forgive him, don't worry, don't mind him, sorry, and I was thinking I was settling this case. I never knew I was causing problem, and today, I now decided that when they complain to me, I'll try to listen to them. If it's the one I need to quarrel, I'll quarrel the other person and tell them the area they did not do well. Instead of doing sorry, you can go, and at the end of the day, I'm not solving this problem. So try to find out your blind spot in your relationship and learn to handle it. I believe it's a wonderful time with you. In this program, if there is any question you need to ask, if there's any challenges you have, if there's any confusion or anything you need to be thrown more light on, you can call us on the screen, on the number on the screen, 070378 17656. You can WhatsApp us, you can make your comment, you can tell us things that is bothering you that you need to be talked to, you need to be spoken to about, and you receive our response. You can also follow us on the following handles on the screen. Even on YouTube, you can also subscribe and press the notification bell on your YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so that you can also receive information on our recent uploads on you and your family. Thank you for giving us your time. I hope you enjoyed this moment, and I thank you because you have given us one moment and making this program a reality by listening to our programs. Thank you, and I hope you be with us in the next episode next week and same time on the same television. Thank you very much. I am still your uncle, Evangelist Mrs. Faith Okafor. Thank you for being with us on You and Your Family.